Hey guys, welcome back to Case Closed-ish. Now, before I begin, just be honest here. Did you see a ad marking a claim and just scroll past it without considering it? You know, the types that are like, get rich in a week, or lose 10 kilos overnight. Well, most of us just scroll past it, but back in 1890s, one woman didn't. You might argue there are no phones back then, but come on, again, don't take this word for it. You know what I mean, right? Well, her name was Mrs. Louisa Elizabeth Carlill? I hope that's how you pronounce it. And whatever. She came across an ad for something called a Carbolic Smoke Ball. The company claimed it could prevent influenza. I wish we had those products when COVID hit. Well, all you had to do was use it 3 times a day for 2 weeks. And if you caught the flu anyway, they literally promised £100. Well, that's not pocket change. It was a serious sum. They actually meant it. They claimed that they even deposited 1k, not 1k, £1,000 in the bank. And Miss Carlill, she didn't shrug it off. She bought the smoke ball, followed the instructions to the letter, and still got sick. Most people would let it go, maybe mutter, scam, and move on. But Miss Carlill didn't. She decided to take the company to court, because as she saw it, they had promised the money. She had done everything required, and they were refusing to pay. Have you had moments like this? Where you buy stuff, doesn't work out, you ask for a refund, but they refuse? Well, I hope that doesn't happen to me. The company tried to argue it was all just clever advertising, that no reasonable person would take them seriously. But the court didn't see it that way. They said the ad was a binding offer. Mrs. Carlill's use of the smoke ball counted as acceptance, and her effort and expense counted as consideration. In short, she had done her side of the deal. Every contract needs an offer, consideration, and acceptance. If you want to know what makes a contract a valid contract, let me know in the comments below. So a product that sounds silly to us today, a rubber filled with powder, became the center of a landmark contract law case. And here's why it still matters. We see ads making big promises online every day, and most of us just scroll past. But imagine if someone actually followed every instruction, everything, and the company refused to honor it. That's exactly what Miss Carlill did. The company thought they were safe, but she wasn't backing down. Just like May from our previous case. Wow, can't believe it's all women. Come on guys, we should act like men. Come on. Well, if you know a case that has a man who actually acted upon it, let me know. I'll study it. It helps me to keep bringing crazy legal stories like this straight to you. Now, stick around, because over the next few minutes, we're going to unpack how a Victorian flu remedy, a seemingly ridiculous ad, and one determined woman gave the world a legal lesson that's still studied today. The Carbolic Smoke Ball Co. refused, claiming it was just the advertising puff. Puff is just playing around, and there was no real contract, and that the terms were too vague. In your opinion, does it sound vague? It's kind of hard to tell. I guess when they said they put the money in the bank, that actually tells us that they actually meant it. But if we think about it today, we wouldn't really consider it a real deal, would you? Well, Ms. Carlill argued there was a contract and the ad was an offer to the public, and by using the smoke ball as instructed, she had accepted it. And whose side was the court on? Well, let's see. The ad was a valid offer, not just a sales puff. It was proven in part by the £1,000 deposit showing sincerity. Secondly, the acceptance happened through performance. Well, she didn't need to notify the company. Using the smoke ball as directed was enough. There was consideration. the inconvenience of using the smoke ball and the benefit to the company from increased sale. So, after Miss Carlill got sick, despite following all the instructions, she went to Carbolic Smoke Ball Co. and asked for the £100. But here's where it gets interesting. The company basically laughed in her face. They said, "Come on, Miss Carlill, that ad was just a clever marketing. You don't actually expect us to pay you, do you? There's no real contract here. And even if there were, the terms are too vague." Imagine that. That spent carefully writing the ad, deposited £1,000 to show they were serious, and yet, when someone actually trusted them, they tried to wiggle out. How classic. But Miss Carlill didn't back down. She argued, "No, there's definitely a contract. You made an offer to the public. I accepted it, using the smoke ball exactly as you instructed. So you have to pay." Well, now, if you're not into law, this might sound like she was just stubborn, but the court actually had to think carefully about what a contract really is, and what makes an offer enforceable. Let's break it down. The judges looked at three big things: offer, acceptance, and consideration. The classic trio in the contract law. First, the offer. The company said £100 if you catch the flu after using the ball as directed. At first glance, it might look like a joke. Kind of exaggeration we'll all ignore today, but the court noticed something important. They didn't just say it in the ad, they even deposited £1,000 in the bank to show they were serious. That was huge. It signaled the intent. This wasn't just some catchy line to sell products. It was a serious promise anyone could accept. Here's the hook for you. How many ads today say, "Results granted"? Very few put their money where their mouth is. Miss Carlill saw that deposit. The company basically dared people to take them seriously. And she did. After the offer, there's acceptance. Normally, if you want to accept an offer, you tell the other party, "I accept," right? But this was a unilateral contact, which is kind of like a do this, get that. No need to formally notify the company. Using a smoke ball exactly as an ad instructed was the acceptance. That was clever because she didn't even have to call them up and say, "Hey, I'm doing it." Her actions did all the talking. And finally, the consideration. Part that makes a contract enforceable. The court asked, did Miss Carlill actually give something in return? She didn't just take the product and cough the flu money. She spent effort following the instruction diligently, and she got no immediate benefit herself. Meanwhile, the company gained sales and free advertising every time someone bought the smoke ball. That counted as consideration. Do you think? She did something of value. The company benefited. Boom. A contract. And now here's the twist. That makes this case stick in the legal textbooks. The company thought they were safe, imagining no one would ever actually do what the ad said. But Miss Carlill did it. She trusted them fully. And it backfired, particularly for the company. They assumed she would be like most people, laugh, ignore, and maybe try it once and throw it away, but she committed, and the law backed her. The court concluded that all three elements, offer, acceptance, and consideration were satisfied. Not only that, the unilateral nature of the contract terms meant she didn't have to negotiate or confirm anything. She just had to perform as instructed, and perform she did. There's also a subtle but important point about intent. Often courts will ask, did the company intend to be bound? Here, the £1,000 deposit showed sincerity. It was like a Victorian-era mic drop. We mean what we say. That tiny detail transformed a simple ad into something legally enforceable. And think about how relatable that is today. We see all these ads promising results online. Free trials, crazy guarantees, money back offers. Can you name more? Let me know. Most of us scroll past, ignore, or shrug. I mean, I guess there were times I didn't really scroll past, but it's past now, so I can't do anything about that. Did you go past it today? Or did you click on it? Well, but someone could theoretically take the offer seriously, like I did. Miss Carlill is the ultimate example of what happens when someone actually does. I wish that happened to me, but it didn't. Well, here's a fun way to imagine it. The company thought they were planning a clever game, using marketing puffery to boost sales. Miss Carlill just showed up to play by the rules that they set. She literally turned their marketing stunt into a binding contract. The court rewarded her for it. By the end, the court had no choice. Unfortunately, they had to pay the £100, and not just that, the case became a cornerstone for contract law, especially when it comes to unilateral contracts. And what constitutes a valid offer? Miss Carlill basically turned a flu ad into a lesson for the world. If you promise something seriously enough, someone might actually hold you to it. And the beauty of it? Even today, it's easy to relate. Every time we scroll past outrageous ad online, Miss Carlill's story reminds us sometimes people actually take offers seriously, like I did last time, and the law might just back them up. So guys, don't just skip it, maybe try it. Like we mentioned, the law might support you. Businesses can't always get away with wild claims. If you're a business owner, you should know that, right? But here's what really makes her story sick. Miss Carlill followed the instructions exactly, got sick anyway, and turned a simple Victorian flu remedy into a courtroom victory. That's commitment, curiosity, and a little bit of boldness. Think about it today. We all scroll past endless ads promising miracle cures, instant results, or money back guarantees. Most of us shrug, but someone taking this serious could theoretically hold a company accountable, just like her, just like Miss Carlill did. And that's why her story matters. It's not just about quirky piece of history. It's not just a quirky history. It shows that a contract isn't just about lawyers and paperwork. It's sometimes about actions, promises, and sincerity. And art as well. I guess a contract is like a piece of art. I'll explain that next time, so subscribe. The company deposited money to show they meant what they said, and she proved it. Plus, there's a fun side. She literally sniffed a powder up her nose every day for 2 weeks, thinking it would prevent the flu, and then took the company to court when it didn't work. That's part of the charm of the story. Clever and inspiring all at once. Have you ever sniffed powder up your nose? I can't imagine why people even do that. Well, so next time you see an ad that makes a crazy promise, think of Miss Carlill. She shows us that if someone truly believes in an offer, it can take action. If they take action, and if the offer is backed seriously enough, the law might just side with them. And let's be honest, it's also a reminder to read the fine print, question wild claims, and maybe not sniff mystery powers seriously. So, if you enjoyed this story and want more episodes like this, crazy legal cases that actually happened, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and give it a thumbs up. It really helps me keep telling stories like this, and let's be honest, it's also a reminder to read the fine print, question and claim, and maybe not to sniff mystery powders seriously.